Welcome to the Mountain Cast from Scrambleless Mountaineering. Today we're going to be looking at hardshell jackets. So what are they, why do we need them, and why we definitely don't need to break the bank to get one to go out there and have some fun in the outdoors. So what's a hardshell jacket and why do we need one? Well, in this country with our beautiful British weather, generally it's quite wet quite a lot of the time. And the primary purpose of a hardshell jacket like this one is to keep you dry, so not let any rain in, and also to be windproof. When a hardshell is used in a layering system, it can complement all the other layers underneath, like a fleece layer potentially, or a soft shell, and then this on top. This will always be a final layer and you won't typically have nothing on under this. So the first port of call is to look at what kind of activity you're primarily going to be using your jacket for. You may be doing a multitude of activities, but try and figure out, my advice, the first one, pick the main activity you do most of the time, because ultimately you want that jacket to be performing to its highest when you're doing the activity you're spending the most time outside doing. So when we look at activities, there's quite a big distinction between two groups really. We've got mountaineering, climbing, scrambling, hiking, where we do get warm if we're going, if we're going up severe gradients and things like that. But also, we're not expending vast amounts of sweat. On the other hand, we've got stuff like fell running, long distance running, whether it's up mountains or on roads, or, we're doing biking activities, so cycling, that kind of thing. And those two are, very separate entities. So with your main activity in mind, we're going to go through my 5 key deliverables all outer shell jackets should have. So number 1, durability. So going back to the activities, if we're going to be doing something like fell running or general cycling, things like that, we're not going to need an ultra durable jacket because the likelihood of us coming into contact with, say, rocks or debris or the ground is going to be quite slim, we hope. If on the other hand we're going to be doing stuff like mountaineering, climbing, scrambling, the likelihood you're going to rub this up against some nice sharp rocks or some really scratchy surfaces is probably going to be quite high. So we want something that's ultra durable, because the last thing we want to do is go scratching this and letting the waterproof membrane get ripped. Number 2, waterproofing. So you'd think they're all waterproof jackets, yeah, but they are not made the same. So a really light, low-end kind of waterproof jacket, it may help you out in a little shower. There might be a half an hour rain break, something like that. You're having a little run, okay, fine. It might keep you dry through that. However, if you're planning to get off into the lakes or Snowdonia or Scotland in the middle of winter, certainly the start and the end of the season winter, potentially you're going out in torrential rain throughout the day, and a really light, thin, waterproof jacket, it will soak through. The materials are exceptional nowadays, but you've got to bear that in mind. Again, so we're going back, what am I likely to do? Am I likely to be going out in these horrible conditions? If the answer is yes, we need something with a really good waterproof rating. Number 3, windproofing. The majority of hardshells you'll see will be really good at protecting you from the wind, and it's essential we are protected from the wind because, as you see, we may have temperatures of kind of 2-3 degrees, but with a wind chill of -10. And that's where this is absolutely fantastic. So you're wearing your kind of fleece or your mid layer, and then you pop one of these over the top, and that cutting wind just completely drops off and you stay nice and warm. Number 4, breathability. So historically, manufacturers of hardshell jackets have had a really, really tough time trying to make this as breathable as possible, and ultimately they're not as breathable as a soft shell. If you're not too concerned about getting wet or getting damp, and you're doing an aerobic activity or getting significantly hotter than you normally are, then potentially you would just use a soft shell. But that said, in recent times, manufacturing, fantastic the materials have got to play with now, and the breathability on the jackets is significantly better than it used to be. The majority of jackets, when you start getting to the mid to the high end, they'll have underarm zips, which I'll show you in a minute. And the material itself will allow a certain amount of moisture to pass from the inside of the jacket to the outside. And why do we care about stuff going from inside to outside? Because the outside, getting in, is keeping us nice and warm. Yeah, nice and warm and dry, but really hot. So when we've got the jacket inside, all the sweat we're building up is going into our base layer, then probably into our fleece and our mid layers. And if it hasn't got anywhere to exit from the top layer jacket, it's all going to sit there underneath. So you'll be nice and dry from the front of the jacket, but inside I've been absolutely sopping wet on occasions, you know. And you get what you pay for with this section. So breathability is one of my biggest considerations personally. It's the last thing I hate because I run really hot as well. So when I'm up a mountain, the last thing I want to do is gone to all the effort of staying nice and warm and dry from the outside in to then not be able to vent and get the moisture away from my body out of the jacket. Number 5, the weight. So if you're doing an activity like fell running or backpacking, generally you want to go as light as possible, so that's going to be a consideration for you. Jackets can go from a couple 100 grams up to beyond half a kilo, and that's going to be down to personal preference, what you're happy wearing when you're wearing the jacket, how heavy it is, and also to carrying it, because you maybe have it stowed away quite a lot of the time. So the 3 main things to watch out for when you're going to do the research and pick up your jacket is, what's the jacket made of? So what type of fabric is it? How many layers is it made of? And what denier is it? So how thick is it? I've got 3 examples here I'm going to show you now, and I'm going to talk through each of those and give you an idea of what they could be used for. So this is a Raab lightweight waterproof jacket. It's very light. It's made of Raab's Pertex material. It's 2.5 layers and it's 40 denier thick. So for me, this would be a perfect jacket for kind of summer, spring, early autumn. If I'm likely that I'm not going to be wearing a jacket, I'm going to keep it in my bag. Or if I'm going on missions and I want to keep my pack weight down, this would be something great like this. Another example of this would be Gore-Tex's Pack-Lite material. That's a 2.5 layer system, depending on what kind of jacket you buy. Again, that's Gore-Tex's equivalent to the Pertex, but yeah, that's perfect for those kind of activities. Money-wise, you're looking at kind of the 150 to 200 pound mark, something like that for these, possibly even cheaper some places. So moving up a notch now, this would be my kind of second tier of jackets really. So this is a Raab women's Kangri GTX. I've seen these retailing for around £200 mark, £210 mark on sale in some places at the moment. Really good value. It sounds like a lot of money, £200, and I know it is. You know, it's not lost on me just because I work, you know, in the outdoors now and I've got lots of kit. You know, it took me a long time to build my kit up. And it's a great investment at the end of the day. If you're going to put that money into something like this, it will last you a very long time. And I say that because this jacket's made out of Gore-Tex. So Gore-Tex is the premier material in kind of waterproof and breathable jackets of this nature. So this is made out of 70 denier fabric. It's triple layers, so 3 layers, and like I say, it's Gore-Tex. The breathability properties are slightly better than other jackets. And again, it's Gore-Tex. This is really hard wearing. It's heavier than the lighter jacket I just showed you. This would be a brilliant year-round jacket as well. It may have a little bit too much weight for kind of, you know, when it's really starting to warm up a bit. But yeah, if I had to buy one jacket, I would buy something bang in the middle of the range, and it would be something of this nature. Third example, getting near the top end of kind of jackets really, and top of the line. You can get more expensive than this, you know, but it's still an expensive jacket. This is an Arc'teryx Alpha AR. They retail for about £500. You don't see them on sale anywhere because they're just expensive pieces of kit. This is made of, in a very similar vein to the Raab Kangri, but it's obviously more than double the price. This is made of Gore-Tex Pro. The materials are better again than the standard Gore-Tex. The breathability rating is significantly better. Hard wearing, they are absolutely bomb-proof. You know, these things, I use this jacket day in, day out, and you know, rubbing it on rock, it doesn't miss a beat on anything. They're fantastic. Again, it's made of 70 denier fabric. It's reinforced in certain sections. It's 3 layered. And going back onto what we were talking earlier on, so we've got the armpits there. It's got a nice full armpit opening. So if we get really hot, we've got a massive amount of venting in this jacket here as well. The other things we didn't talk about were the hoods. So, yeah, not all hoods are made even, as you probably realise most things these jackets aren't on this video. So the hoods, you know, it depends what activity you're doing. Again, if you're going to be climbing, you know, you want a hood that's going to accommodate your helmet nice and snug in there. Last thing you want is to have your helmet on and then your jacket to be flapping around it, or it's too big or it's too tight. This is perfect. Again, the kangaroo I showed you before, that's a brilliant jacket. Hood goes over perfectly. Pockets. One thing a lot of people miss with these types of jackets is they don't look at where the pockets are, which I don't know, you might think, well, why do I need to know where the pockets are? Well, if you're going to be having a harness on, for example, this Arc'teryx AR is predominantly made for climbing, so, you know, it's assuming people are wearing harnesses. The pockets, these are called Napoleon pockets. They're nice and high up on the jacket, so by the time I've got my harness over this section here, I can still get to my pockets at the top of the jacket. The worst thing you want is when you're out in the bitter cold, or you've got, you know, any time of year getting absolutely drenched and you've got your harness on the bottom and you can't get to the stuff in your pockets. Absolute killer. With the jackets as well, they'll all have varying degrees of how much you can alter them. So this has got a hemline one there. You know, you can tighten it up nicely around the bottom. We've got the one around the hood here. The more, you know, when you get into the middle and the top end jackets, we've got nice adjustments on the back as well. What I would say, it is really key to be able to adjust your jacket a lot. You know, you can get it into a nice snug fit, or if you want to have a bit more breathability, you can kind of leave the skirt open a little bit more, and it gives you the independence then to do what you want with the jacket and not be kind of fixed to, this is the size of the jacket and I'm stuck with it. Colours last on the list, and I never seem to be able to get the colours I want in the jackets. But at the end of the day, as long as they tick all the boxes for what I need them to do, I'll sacrifice the colour. So to summarise all the key points we've been through today, what's your main activity you're going to be using this jacket for first and foremost, and then go through the list. So, durability, does it need to be bomb-proof? Can I get away with something a bit more lightweight? Waterproofness, does it need to go through monsoon rain, or are we okay with just a few light showers? Windproofness, are we going to be going to mountaintops regularly, or is it going to be stuff at low level? Breathability, can I make this work with my existing stuff? You know, am I going to get too hot underneath? I need to take a good look at those things. And lastly, how heavy is it? Am I happy with something that's 500-600 grams, or do I need something lightweight? We've seen quite a few jackets today, and all I'll say is you don't need to go and buy a £500 Arc'teryx Alpha AR jacket to go out and have a good time and keep yourself nice and dry. At the end of the day, that's a premium jacket. You know, people who work in the outdoors industry use them a lot. You don't need that level of protection. You know, you can get away with spending a significant amount less and having lots of fun and buying more kit in other areas where you probably need it instead. I'd love to know what your favourite jacket is, or what's catching your eye at the moment, so drop it in the comments below, or we're on Instagram at ScrambleishUK, and drop us a message. Thanks everyone.